Shalom. I like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect out there. This is a lesson in regards to a video I was watching last night. Okay, where's this thing? Yeah, this guy's a journalist. His name's Chris Musselis. He went to Trinidad, and Jake is totally destroyed, man. They're involved in a lot of gang wars and conflict, and it's all controlled by the higher ups of the Trinidadian society to keep our people in a lower state, right? Because prior, our people were. That's why, like Trinidad, the capital is known as the Port of Spain. All right, and in Jamaica too, right, and Central America, South America, all right, they were known as New Granada, all right, and like Jamaica, they prior to the capital of Jamaica was called like prior, like I guess before the whole name of Kingston, right? The capital of Jamaica was known as De La Vega, right? Right, which was controlled by the Maroons, right? Like the Moranos or the Moors, right? That was in power, right? Because prior, Jake, the 1300s, right? Jake was being persecuted in Spain and Portugal, all right, and there were Jews as well as Moors who was practicing Islam that came to the New World, all right. So so I'm gonna read this article. This is off the Caribbean History Archive.blog.com. Independence of Trinidad and Tobago. It said the Segment Society. All right, so I'm gonna be reading this article. I guess it was published August 31, 2023, right? It says racial prejudice was institutionalized to fine point during the time of African slavery and later colonial period, when East Indian indentured was introduced. It was the experience of all who were not European, right? So pretty much during the whole transatlantic slave trade, right, there was Jake who were oppressing other Jake, right? And you had the Maroons or the Moranos or the Moors, right? That was in Central America, the Caribbean, all right? And they were free men of the land, and they would bring a very good book to get. Very good book to get is The Portuguese Jews of Jamaica by Mordecai Arbel. That's a very good book. All right, you could download it as a PDF or you could buy it. All right, this is affordable. All right, but pretty much, I'm gonna read this. Keep going, right? Because this is a very complex history, right? Because a lot of our people were not, a lot of people were free. They were sovereign, right? So basically, Jake were oppressing other Jake, all right? So I'm gonna get you this Exodus 21:1, all right? Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve thee, and in the 7th year he shall go out free for nothing. So that's what was going on, right? But cause just like Jamaica, or you go to Trinidad or wherever, right, where Jake inhabits, and then Jake is in parliament and basically running that society. They're pretty much enslaving Jake, all right. Financially now, all right. Um, but back in the day, Jake was doing the same thing, right? Jake were enslaving, and making people. They would basically, enslave, right? And they had their own. Jake had their, they're known as the black, the black plantation owners are in there. Because Jake were, we were in power, all right. So you have to get that out of your head. All right. It says it's definitely it definitely depends. Broadly speaking, racial like prejudice in the European sense come to the New World with the Spaniards, who, after winning a long and cruel war against the North African Moors, who crossed the Straits of Gibraltar and conquered the Iberian Peninsula in the 18th century, who finally had been driven out the 15th century. So Jake were basically under the Moors throughout Spain and Portugal. They were in power, right, from 711 AD to the whole 15th century. So over 800 years. All right, and then basically like they're being driven out. So a lot of the Jake, a lot of the Moors, the Jews, as well as those guys who's practicing Islam, they would come to the New World and set up shop. All right. With these types of ethnic cleansing, it says comments, which meant person with Moorish or Islamic or Jewish blood were driven out of the Catholic spirit. So these were Jake, right, who were on the whole Catholicism, and basically under the whole Catholicism you had Constantine the Great, right, which like around like 311 A.D. They started that whole Christian religion, all right, and they started that whole Sunday worship and all that. But they're basically pagan worshippers, but they were oppressing the Jews, all right, and they would have to make them convert or practice in secret, and they were known as the Moranos, right? And they would convert to that whole Catholicism, but they would practice their like the Torah in secret. This is the notion of the purity of the blood became the creditorish. It said the credit. Sorry, it said become the credition of the nobility in Spain, and was thence transported to the Spanish colonies in the New World. All right, so Jake, we were in power. All right, you had those the Berbers, right, throughout Morocco, Algeria, throughout North Africa, right, who they had the whole slave trade, even going into the whole 1800s. All right, and they had you know like they had Edomites, like they had Edomite men and women, in slavery. So that's why the whole the mid 1800s, Jake was still in power, right, throughout certain parts of Africa, like North Africa and stuff, right. And there's photos and all that stuff, man. You know, but this is just impromptu, right? This is also this lady. She's she's a Miss. Her name is, what's her name? Laura Chin, right? a Moabite woman, right? That I guess she has. I guess her parents and stuff, they're of Jamaican stock, right? But there are a lot of these like these nations that came here, and you know, and that basically in Jamaica right now, right? You have the Chinese, you have the you have the Syrian, the Lebanese, and you know, and Esau. Cause Esau, because even during the whole like when the Moors were in power, right? They would bring in those Khazars, right? And they would serve like the Moors, right? But and they would teach them a lot of their their like their way of like their ways of trade, and all that stuff, right? But let's fast forward, and that this woman is like let's say she's like a culture vulture, all right? But I'm gonna just play this quick. Hopefully it doesn't echo.
Rivalry, when in 1845 the first ship of Indian indentured laborers arrived in Jamaica. For 179 years, the Indian population has contributed to the multicultural landscape that is Jamaica. And what's more Jamaican than rice and peas? Originally a recipe brought to Jamaica by enslaved Africans, it's the addition of coconut milk that gives Jamaican rice and peas its signature flavor. And we owe this influence to Indian migrants. Curry is another culinary delight originating in Africa, yet curry owes its popularity to India and made its way into Jamaican cuisine via Indian migrants. And let's not forget saltfish rundown, mackerel rundown. Jamaican food is absolutely a multicultural experience rich in Indian influence. What many people don't know is that the reason Indians were brought to Jamaica was because of their expertise in agriculture. Indians were the first to successfully grow rice in Jamaica, establishing the first rice mill in the 1890s. They introduced innovative farming techniques and dominated vegetable production until the 1940s. In fact, over 75 species of plants were introduced to Jamaica via Indian migrants, including tamarind, coolie plum, mangoes, and jackfruit. This Sunday, May 12th, the National Council for Indian Culture invites everyone to experience their glorious legacy while embracing our shared culture. Out of many, one people.
Yeah, that's right. They say out of many, one people, right? But a lot of those Douglas, right, or those coolies, a lot of them are Israelites, all right. So a lot of those coolies throughout a lot of the coolies of Central America, South America, like Guyana, Trinidad, Jamaica, they are actual Israelites, right? Dougla people, right? Caribbean people who have mixed African and Indian descent. The Dougla is used throughout the Dutch and English speaking Caribbean. The word Douglas or Dougla, which is a Caribbean Hindu word, literally means two-necked and means many or mix, right? So they are Israelites, right? But a lot of those Douglas, a lot of them are practicing that whole Hinduism, that whole Kali worship, and those Indian type worships, right? But they are actual Israelites, all right. You know, and so a lot of them, you know, a lot of those Douglas are actual Israelites, right? You have there's a place in India. They're known as the Cochin Jews. Sorry, the Cochin Jews. They're Cochin Jews, all right? You could do your research, all right? That dates back to the time of King Solomon, all right? So they're actual Jews that's going to look like like the damn East Indians, man. All right. So this is I'm gonna get some scriptures. All right. I get Isaiah 11. Isaiah 11, and I start at 1. Let me highlight this. Isaiah 11 verse 1. The remnant. It says the restored remnant. And shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria. Right? So Assyria throughout like Iraq, through that region. And from Egypt and from Pathros. I guess like Pathros, I think it's in Asia. Pathros. I'm just gonna double check. Okay, it's in Egypt. Located in Upper Egypt. Okay. And from Cush, right? There's Israelites in that's in Ethiopia, Eritrea. Through that region, there are Israelites that's dwelling amongst those people. And from Elam, so from India, from India, Iran, right? There are Israelites that's dwelling there, all right, known as a diaspora, right? And from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea, and he shall set his ensign of the nation, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So the Israelites, all right, the house of Judah, they are scattered throughout the earth, right, and as well as the house of Israel, right, they are scattered, all right. So this is not like a color thing. This is not a race thing, all right. Cause Jake is destroyed, man. Jake wants to be involved in gangs, and this is all like orchestrated, to keep our people down, right? And that Psalms 83 and 1, right? I'll get it. Psalm 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, says God implored to confound his enemies. So this is the Heavenly Father and his Son that's gonna confound these nations, man, when he comes, right? But he's just making them have their counsel, all right, and to keep us to keep us down until he's gonna rise his elect, cause we are peasants. We're very low. We're in the lower state. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consult together against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. And that's what they're trying to do, right? Now they're trying to basically outlaw us preaching, and they want to pass all these bills to not basically to not gather. Like they don't want us to gather. It's like they don't even want, right now it's like we don't really have the power, but they're scared, man, right? And they're basically trying to have like they're trying to have like control the whole narrative, and like that's what they're basically trying to do. But the Heavenly Father, he's gonna redeem his elect. He's gonna redeem his elect, man, because they're trying to, like cut us off, man. They're trying to say erase it, man, and that's what they're trying to do. Psalms 137. You can read that. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against you. The tabernacles of Edom. All right. So Edom. All right. You Edomite. That's in power, man. The whole Greco-Romans, the Idumeans, right, and the Ishmaelites, the Arabs of Moab, the Chinese, and the Hagarenes, the Gabal, and Ammon. All right, so you Japanese, and Amalek, right? Because these Japanese, they want the black men that to go to like they want the whole so-called black men to like to go to Japan and basically like populate, right? Because they're saying that the Japanese population is very low, and they want the black men to go. Right? I just saw it a couple days ago on my feed. All right, so there, so we're gonna go there, man. In like when Jake's in power, we're gonna go all over the earth, man. All right, the elect. All right, and we're gonna like colonize these lands. All right, and we're gonna rule the earth again, man. And Amalek, the Philistines, the Arab, the Hamans, the Tyre. All right, so you Philistines, all right, you Phoenicians, right, that played a role in the whole transatlantic slave trade, man. So that's pretty much it. This is gonna be Slovakia. This is off the Independence of Trinidad and Tobago Society. I'm gonna share the link in the description. You could do your own reading and research, all right, and build for you brothers who are Trinidadian, all right, because there's a couple brothers that are Trinidadians. You could do your research, man. Dougla, I'm gonna share this link in the description as well, and this the Cochin Jew, I will share this as well. So with that, let us see our praise due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. Shalom. Hopefully this video was edifying. Shalom.